What we eat impacts us in many ways. And while we know eating healthy is smart, it's often hard to do with our busy lives. Prepping your meals in advance not only helps you eat better, but also saves you money. Inga is a healthy food coach. She has a YouTube channel called Health Origins, where she helps people transform their eating habits by becoming more mindful. Today, we are talking about prepping your meals in advance, and Inga is back with us. So Inga, is this something that you do regularly and encourage other people to do as well?
Yes, absolutely. It saves so much time for me through the week. So that's, I would say, the main benefit that a lot of people could, also use, because I know how long I spend in the kitchen every night. So say an hour or 2 hours to prepare a meal if I haven't meal prepped at the weekend. So that's when I tend to do my meal prep at the weekend. Or, for people that work different shift patterns, they could do it whenever they have more time, whether it's during midweek or whichever, or, one evening. Because meal prep doesn't need to take that long, really. I would say probably about 3 hours. And, you can prepare, good 3-4 meals or some ingredients for your meals that would then help, to cut down the time needed, every day for making meals.
Are you mainly doing dinner then? You're focusing on dinner when you're doing your meal prep? Okay.
Yeah, so I think for us, for our family, it's mainly kind of dinners. Because for breakfast, we normally have a smoothie, for example, or some fruits or berries. I have like a green juice, for example. And lunches are like salads, but my husband reheats the leftover dinners. So it's kind of serves the 2 meals, in fact, because he eats whatever we had the night before for lunch too. So I tend to cook maybe 1 or 2 full meals at the weekend. So say like some soup and a stew, for example. And then I would also pre-prep some rice, we use whole grain rice, some beans or lentils, so like part meals, if you like, or some potatoes. We would steam some potatoes or bake some potatoes. So something that is nearly ready, but then you can quickly put together, a tin of tomatoes, add some spices, or, add some, a tin of coconut milk and make a curry, something like that, something quickly put together, but you already got the rice or the potatoes or the lentils or something kind of already partially ready too. So that's the kind of meal prep we do.
And you could probably make even more of the meal if you were okay with having the same thing, let's say 2 nights in a row. Or you mentioned leftovers, right? So you could take it to work the next day for lunch or something like that.
Or also, if people are too tired eating the same thing, so if I like making a big pot of something, and if you're tired to eat the same meal for 2 or 3 nights in a row, what you could do, you could always pre-freeze a portion or 2 that's left over, and kind of take something that's already been frozen a week before and kind of rotate it that way. So, you got more interest. And still can make big batches and save time that way. And another benefit of meal prep that, is probably even more important than saving time actually, is that you always have healthy food on hand, because it's so easy when you haven't got anything. So easy to go out and get a takeaway or, a ready meal or something because you're starving, you haven't got anything ready. Bad decisions and bad choices can happen much, much easier that way.
Yeah. Do you ever plan out your meals so you're like, oh, I know I'm going to use potatoes for this. If I'm cutting up potatoes, I might as well do this dish, maybe later in the week. Do you ever look at it kind of like from a larger perspective and be like, well, if I'm chopping vegetables, I might as well just do this dish as well?
So doing kind of more, so for example, sometimes if I chop onion, because onion could be such a crying task, right? So, you know, if I'm chopping onion, I might put some in a jar, in a glass jar, and put it in the fridge. I'll chop more, you know, an extra
Mhm.
onion or something, and then I have, you know, for another, you know, dish to do. Yeah, so you can definitely do things like that. I know some people pre-plan what they eat every single night, is, you know, all the dinners, then they only go to the, you know, supermarket and buy specific ingredients. I don't tend to do that. I'm kind of like, cook as you feel, you know, I'm a cook like, feel, you know, cook as you feel, and, you know,
Right.
just chop whatever you've got or whatever you feel like, or, you know, if you kind
Yeah.
of have some leftover veggies, or just chuck that in as well, you know. So I don't necessarily plan every little ingredient.
Hmm.
I'm just kind of cooking as I go, and as the ingredients in my fridge dictate. Yeah.